And
again, millimeter only depending on the band, the frequency, and depending on how far these devices are separated from. There's a
oh yeah,
entire
5G
physics
is considered
argument there.
millimeter wave technology
Yes,
because
but
the
again,
wavelength.
in millimeter technology on Earth, these access points have to be fairly close together, something like I think 500 meters or something.
Well, if you're launching it from
Again, there is an
space, there's
entire
no obstruction.
physics.
It's line of sight, Mark. It's a line of
Yeah,
sight.
well,
Yeah.
again, there's an entire physics argument.
The only thing
So
that
yeah,
obstructs it would be like, something material, really. And if you're detecting a
like
satellite that's in the, I mean, if you're detecting a like a launched nuclear weapon or something like that, it's in the sky. The waves would be bouncing off the missile and coming back at the satellite, and that would happen fast
in a
enough to
very
be an early warning system for it.
in a very sort of similar sort of technique as radar works.
The problem is you still got to shoot these things down. That'll be the hard part because they're traveling at the speed of sound now. And as far as I know, there's no one that can do it yet.
Rather than shoot them down, disable them in one way or another.
Well,
That may
yeah.
be shooting them down. That might be some sort of I don't know other thing of disabling them.
If you
I
had
don't
a
know,
powerful enough laser, maybe you could do it. I don't know.
or some sort of software method
Oh, they'd be
where,
protected against that, I imagine. It'd
where
be shit.
again, as we've seen in the world of computer viruses, or viri, as I prefer to use,
Like they have those
the
weapons that can take down drones,
materials
right?
and
And
things.
Russia has now built new drones that are shielded against that. So there's
Yeah,
definitely ways you
precisely.
can
So
shield
yeah,
stuff.
it's a war. It's a somebody comes up with one idea, somebody comes up with another idea to combat that idea, and onward we
Yeah,
go.
so Trump, Peter Thiel also funded the rise of JD Vance. He was one of his biggest funders. Um, and yeah, it's he's a suspicious one, that guy. Uh, he's also funding military AI use, AI in military tech.
Yeah.
That's how he kind of. So he used his PayPal money to create military tech after he got rich from Facebook.
Now, you're talking about Zuckerberg.
Well, he funded Zuckerberg in the early parts of Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, because I
So
had
he's always been involved in either intelligence or military, which is suspicious, in my opinion.
well, I always hold to the thing that the internet and freaking video games, all of it has always been involved with freaking the intelligence and also with the military. Period. You know what I mean? They go hand in hand, and Mark always argues with me because he's Mister Know It All. But
I don't always argue with you on these points. I may agree with you to a certain point.
well, that's very small certain point. But
Well, it depends on
And
the
it's a
subject.
bold-faced lie.
you know, it's like he loves to use that word conjecture. You know what I mean?
Well, some of it is.
He's
Again, it depends on the
misappropriating the word.
specific. Again, depends on the specific subject.
Well,
Depends on your point of view.
That's not it.
it's actually it's actually a proven fact. That's the bad part. Like, I mean, you don't have to really do any major research on it. You know what I mean? As a matter,
It will proven facts. So you're saying everything you say all the time are proven facts.
dude, ARPA, DARPA, proven facts. It's historically recorded. Magnavox was involved in freaking developing freaking ping pong, which was used by the military on college students.
Again, we were talking when it came to this subject. We were talking about a wider sort of. We were having a wider discussion, and
It still pertains.
I was
It
talking about
doesn't
some great
separate.
universities and
It doesn't separate this freaking
taxpayers.
conversation, because we started that conversation with gaming. Okay, don't get me wrong, you're right. That's where it started, and then we brought it up again, I think, on Minds, I believe, Minds Roundtable. But even here it applies, you know what I'm saying? It's like freaking all of this stuff is connected, and it's always been connected. I get a kick out of people who try to make it out like the internet is this social network where it was created so that we can all freaking come together, hold hands, and give out free information to one another. That was never...
No, but that's just the outcome of it. It's not necessarily
that's the propaganda. That is the propaganda that you were sold into believing, and you believe it 100%.
No, I experience it
every
you get
day.
so pissed off because these governments are snooping on your
Remember,
information.
organizations
No one's snooping on me.
Remember, organizations like CERN and people like Lee Bernard were paid mainly out of taxpayers' money.
Right.
European Commission, British taxpayers' money.
Yeah, no. So that means you are paying these fools to freaking spy on your ass.
No.
Well, that's true. And we're paying them.
We would pay these people to come up with technological developments that would result in the World Wide Web,
which would eventually track.
You can't deny that there's a lot of benefits to the internet, though, Roger.
Well, yeah, that's
You're getting spied on. It's your own goddamn fault.
That's the exchange.
Your ass.
That's the exchange of freaking giving up your freedom of privacy. You see what I mean? Like,
well, you don't need to give up your privacy. Just
that's what the
your
internet...
real name out there. And the only thing now that I'm really more concerned about is being on podcasts. They can do voice analysis on you. So unless we get voice scramblers in the future, which will be pretty interesting because we'd be all sound like Darth Vader talking to each other.
You'd love to sound like Darth Vader. Everybody knows.
I would. Then I'd be really Mr. Robot.
If you did want anybody to identify you in any sort of form, then you shouldn't be communicating at all.
That's just nihilism. Don't do that. Never go full retard. All right, what's the next topic? Let's continue.
Okay, now this is actually where we start getting into what we're talking about. Well, no, actually, before that, disinformation office is closed. The United States has freaking shut down the disinformation office here in the United States. And I got so carried away, I forgot to pull up the article.
Sorry, I'm smiling because when you say the disinformation office, it reminds me of Orwell's 1984, the Ministry of Truth and Room 101.
Well, see, that's the thing that is so weird about it because, like, this also has to do with a lot of this. Well, a lot of the stuff we were talking about too, because what it is the U.S. State Department closing office aimed at counter foreign disinformation. Okay, now this actually is something that has to do with Operation Mockingbird back in the 1960s. It was found out that disinformation was being pushed out in Europe and then pushed into the United States. Okay, JFK made a big speech about it, and they created they created this organization out of it, and now they've
Now
decided.
it's been weaponized to create lawfare against the people and censor their speech
Right.
by calling everything they don't like disinformation, and then they basically just squash it.
Exactly. Now, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Wednesday he was shutting down a State Department office that had sought to counter foreign disinformation, accusing it of censorship and wasting U.S. taxpayer money. Rubio, in a statement, said he was closing the State Department's Counter Foreign Information Manipulation and Interference Office, previously known as the Global Engagement Center.
Oh my god! Can you get any more Orwellian than that?
Yeah.
America's so great.
You see,
Also in
Foreign-
theory,
Foreign
isn't,
information manipulation,
wouldn't the
interference
country-
office, the whole office.
can't the information or misinformation department be a violation of that?
Well, they're not meant to be. They're not meant to be propagandizing their own people. That's the thing. But they were, and so yeah.
this
So
whole,
it's a good argument to say that it is
They're
a
only
violation of First Amendment.
see, this
They're
is
only meant to propagandize us.
this goes back to what I was saying, and yes, you're right. That is true. We're only supposed to propagandize you because
Thanks, Roger. Thanks.
here in the
Thanks for
United
paying for it.
Now listen to this. So here in the United States, okay, we have actual laws that are codified, okay? And I always say this. I'm like, here in the United States, we need to be careful about making stupid laws, setting up stupid freaking organizations.
I would say in any country, UK being a good example.
Well, the problem is that people have no
Imagine.
choice in what laws get made. They
Yes,
can only
you do.
elect a leader, and then those
Yes,
laws.
you do.
At
Yes,
some
you do.
point, we do.
You can go to your MP. You can go to your senator and congressperson.
And what forces
say,
them to listen to you?
You and a group of people that you can gather who are willing to stand up with you and create a freaking organization that'll fight against that.
The only way you can do it is by creating a militia and having real power. Because, like, everything else,
are your
you're just
MPs not
trusting
answerable?
bureaucrats that
Are
corrupt.
your MPs not answerable to you? Are the people that
Not
you
legally.
elect that is meant to be representing you not answerable to you?
They're just putting up a show.
You're under suppression by the freaking Queen of England. So like you,
Queen?
well,
It's the king now. The descendant of Count Dracula.
So like the king is the one of England is the one who's responsible for all of that. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that mandates, look, we're going to have to shoot these guys with rubber bullets.
Oh, that's
Well, technically, he is the one that's responsible for everything.
In under Commonwealth rules, and that'd be for the two sections of whichever country's parliament. So government. So,
At the very beginning of our constitution, it says it says the queen, but it'd be the king now, is like the sovereign of this nation. So everything comes under them. And therefore, they are technically responsible for everything that goes on here. Right. I mean, they delegate power and stuff like that, but ultimately they're the one responsible because they claim to be the only sovereign being in the country.
Right. But I've made this argument quite a few times. For a long time, since World War II, any laws made within the Commonwealth, including the UK, are sanctioned by the...
Ultimately, laws are only there for the people, or they should be.